well. We could just do our regular Q&A. Hey YouTube, hey Facebook. How y'all doing? All right. All right, so do I got any updates today? No, because I really didn't prep for a show, but there's really no updates as far as like student loans. I know the last thing that I heard was Biden said basically within the next 2 to 3 weeks, it should be resolved in terms of like issuing the credits for your account. So I guess we can wait for that. Um, Other than that, I don't really, there's really no updates to be honest. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing going on. How do you handle student loans going to collection? So if they're federal student loans, then even if they, good morning, y'all. Representatives are still helping other customers. Okay. So by the way, let me fill y'all in. I'm on hold. So if you hear that in the background, just ignore it. I'm gonna be live until I hold because they talking about 60 to 90 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no. So anyways, if you're oh, they're private. Okay, so if they're private, then obviously that's different. You don't have the credit coming. So you would just challenge them the same way you would challenge any other collection. But you did say that they were on their way to collection. So what is the current status? Like what's going on right now? Are you able to stop it from going into collections? Good morning. Did you still have a code for smart credit? So as long as you go to my link, which is smartcredit.com/Shonda, you don't need the code. You can actually just bypass that code. Because you'll still be able to do the dollar trial. Yeah, I don't have coffee today. I have water and a protein drink. That's it. Good morning. What about joint collections? I've never heard you speak on that. So joint collections has to be handled separately by each party. So if there are two people on the account, one person has to challenge it on their report, and then the other person also has to challenge it on their report. So it's not really a difference because, like I said, both people do have to challenge it. Yes, girl. So I'll be doing filming at around like 1 p.m. today. That's why I got on the whole face. Good morning. Did you upload LexisNexis template? I uploaded it in the group, but you're probably not in the group. So I'm gonna upload it on Instagram. I actually forgot to upload it on Instagram. Do you ever talk about repos? Yes, I actually have a full detailed video on YouTube on how to challenge a repo. The reason why I don't really get into repos on lives is because it's super like tedious. Like there is a lot of steps. There are a lot of things that you need to look for in terms of like your state laws or. While we transfer your call for assistance, please wait. So right when I get on live now, we are having technical difficulties. Your call is being transferred. If you have already made a selection, you will be asked. Wait, did they start me all again. Over? We apologize for any inconvenience. I'm over it. Okay, I'll have to handle that later. They just started me all over. They said I had to pick my selection again after they just told me it was 60 to 90 minutes waiting. Anyways, yeah, I'm on YouTube as well. When are those medical collections going to be removed? So they have until August of next year. So I don't know when between now and August, but they do have until August of next year. So yeah. I have a huge problem. My public records isn't showing on my reports from public records, but when you order from Equifax, it shows. How would you dispute that? I thought that was the official reports. I guess I'm not sure quite what you're asking. You said I have a huge problem. My public records isn't showing on my reports from public records, but when you order from Equifax, it shows. Are you referring to like your official credit report, like from annualcreditreport.com? Is it not showing on there? Or can you clarify that for me? I just got a repo. Would it make sense to challenge with Westlake? Westlake is one of those ones that are very, very, very like they tend to send all of their repos or most of their repos to court. So be wary of that. Especially I noticed that they usually tend to send ones that are like over 3,000. If it's over 3,000, I would absolutely try to like work out a payment arrangement or something, even if you're just paying them $20 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can afford, because they typically do send their large debts to court. What type of medical debts can be removed by August? So any medical collection on your credit report that has a balance under $500, it'll automatically be removed by August of next year, as well as any medical collection that has been settled or like you paid in the past. So basically anyone with a balance under $500 or $0, those will all be removed. Anything over $500, those won't automatically be removed. So you can just challenge those by sending, the HIPAA letters. Got my bankruptcy taken off the other day. Followed your YouTube. Yes, shout out to you. Congratulations to you. Yes. If you have a bankruptcy that you are trying to challenge legally, ethically, and properly, just go watch my YouTube video, which is how to challenge a bankruptcy, literally. Yeah, that's still dope. And also that goes for any public record. I named the video bankruptcy because obviously that's just kind of like a trigger word, but like any public record is pretty much the same process. So I'm talking tax liens, judgment, child support. What else is public record? Obviously bankruptcy. Yeah. I have a few late pay. I thought they was calling back. I have a few late payments due to finance. Well, then let me just add Instagram. Let me just add Instagram's line on the phone no more. Come on, live. I may as well add Instagram. If there is a no mistake, hold on, shit. If there's no mistake on your credit report, there's nothing to dispute and just wait 7 years. Absolutely not. So the only time a mistake or a factual error will come into play is if you're on like rounds 3, 4, 5, etc., and you're still not having any luck. But every single account on your credit report, especially the ones that are derogatory, they need to be challenged. Like just because they don't have a mistake that you can see, it doesn't mean that the account can be properly validated. I heard Chime wasn't good. Chime is a credit builder card. So I don't know what you mean when you say wasn't good. I haven't heard any issues about them, but they play their role, they play their position, and they do it well in my opinion. They are one of the best options for like if you don't have existing credit and you're just trying to get some positive trade lines on your credit report. I mean, I don't have a problem with Chime at all. Okay, I didn't know how long I had this out. Can you remove settled charge-off from credit report? Settled charge-offs are hard, just like paid collections are hard. Because anytime you submit a payment, you validate that account on your own, and that goes for collections and charge-offs. But I guess even more for charge-offs because charge-offs are still with the original creditor. So you have to, take that into consideration when you are challenging charge-offs. The best way you're gonna probably get that removed is if you can find like an error in how that's reporting. So compare it on all 3 credit reports. Make sure you get your real credit reports and don't just go off like monitoring or unless you have like a smart credit. That's the perfect account for charge-off specifically. That's what I use. And so that you can compare and contrast every single line of which one is off, even if it's off $1, even if it's off, a year or whatever the case may be, you can challenge that. Oh, let me start Instagram. I don't feel like putting a title. Okay, let me just put a title real quick. Coffee and credit. Damn, I can't spell coffee. All right. Okay. Let me see. Is an annual credit report your official report? How come it's not matching the report from the bureau? So annual credit report is your official report. Now, if you received a report from the credit bureaus, it may have been updated from whatever dispute that you did. So what information is missing? Hey, Instagram, good morning. How are you guys? Jump right in because we already on live on other platforms. So just like get in where y'all fit in, I love y'all though. Let me see. Husband credit is 648, 650. He has a collection for 5,000. It dropped his score 115 points. What type of collection is that? Which bank do you use for business account? I use multiple, but my favorite one is probably like Chase. Westlake balance was 16K, but then they dropped it to 10K. Okay, so they likely sold the vehicle and then had to put the sell amount towards the balance. So 10K, that's a lot. That will be considered a large account. So I would absolutely try to rectify that in any way that you can because they will take that to court. So don't ignore them because if you ignore them, they're going to take you to court. Yeah, I don't like Bank of America. Just me personally, though. That doesn't mean that you may not like them. Good morning, Insta. How to dispute late payments. So late payments on open accounts, I like to ask for a goodwill adjustment from the company directly, but that heavily depends on like your relationship with them. If you've otherwise been responsible and paying on time, other than maybe a few instances when you were late, but if it's on a closed account, not a charge off, but just like a closed account, then you can challenge that with the credit bureaus. Late payments on charged off accounts, you're not going to be able to get those removed without like getting the entire account removed. So where do you compare your reports? So you can go to smartcredit.com/Shonda. It does cost, unless you want to just download all 3 of your reports for free. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. You'll download all 3 of your reports separately for free. A lot of people find that a little intimidating because it can be a little confusing going through each report. So if you just kind of like want an easy view, just go to smartcredit.com/Shonda. You can pay $1 and you can get the full 3B report where it shows every account side by side so that you can easily just spot any discrepancies, any inconsistencies, inaccuracies. You go there. But you can always get your free credit report at annualcreditreport.com. Please tell me those plants are fake because I will buy them. Yeah, those are fake. Those are from Amazon, and they're not even puffed all the way up. I have to still like put the little rocks and stuff. Yeah, those are fake though. I got an Amex, but I don't think it's going to. Where'd that question just go? I lost your question. Oh, I got an Amex. I don't think it's going to fit me. How do I cancel? You will just call them and cancel. What makes you think that it won't fit you? What card do you have? Let's try to see if there's another alternative, because maybe you can downgrade the card or trade it for a different card, as opposed to just canceling and kind of like ruining your relationship with American Express. So what card do you have? What can I do about my utilization if I can't pay it down right now? So unfortunately, that's the only thing you can do in terms of utilization is either pay it down or, of course, like get another credit card. But if you have high utilization, it'll be challenging getting a credit card with the higher limit. So that's kind of like a rock in a hard place. Does Equifax not report payments made on Smart Credit? Yeah, they should. They report all of my accounts and all of the accounts that I've seen. Any tips as to what's next? What's the next step? Next credit card I should get after Capital One to build credit? If you have like the Capital One Platinum, you can a easy transition is to like the Quicksilvers. That's normally like the second card that people get if they start with the Platinum. Or if you don't want Capital One anymore, you want to branch out to like other banks, you can try like the Citi Custom Cash or the Citi Double Cash. Those are really good ones. The Chase Slate Edge is a really good card. And those are kind of like stepping into more like mid-tier everyday use cards. So yeah, those are some options. What's the best credit monitoring service? My FICO is the best, or Experian. They're both like, you can pick whichever one you want. My FICO, if you're trying to buy a home within the next few months and you want to see your mortgage scores, my FICO. But if you are just casually monitoring your credit for credit cards and stuff like that, then Experian works just fine. They were all gray boxes. So gray boxes just means it's a neutral rating. So it just means that you didn't have a late payment, like you made the payment, basically. I tried ACR and I can't see my score. It's too low. Oh no, so let me clarify that. Annual credit report, your official credit reports does not include your credit score. Like your official credit reports, it does not have a credit score. You actually have to pay for your credit score. If you ever want all three of your true FICO scores, you have to pay. Unfortunately, there's no way to get that for free. So yeah, annual credit report is literally just your credit reports. But that's all that matters, because the score is really for us as a consumer. The companies are going to look at your entire profile overall. So your credit report, they don't care about the score. They usually will assign you their own internal score anyway. So don't even get so caught up on the score more so than your credit report. That's the important part. Like what makes up your credit report? What type of accounts you have? What is your credit report saying about you? Do you have multiple late payments? So it makes it look as though you're an irresponsible borrower. Do you have charge-offs, collections recent that makes it look as though you're still having financial issues? Or are all of your collections and charge-offs at least 18 plus months old? Because then we're having a different conversation when you have fresh charge-offs and collections or like older charge-offs and collections. Also, what are you doing currently? Like, do you have any open accounts? Are you currently paying all of your creditors back? So that's what your report will tell them that your score won't tell them. Good morning. With your DIY system, is there a software that you use to automatically import my info, like account numbers? Not yet. I'll just keep it there. Not yet, but it's something coming that's kind of like that, but I can't really say right now. Amex Go, but I think I should have gotten a CSP, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. That's an interesting outtake. What makes you like the CSP over the Go? Just out of curiosity. The CSP is one of my favorite cards, and also the Gold is one of my favorite cards. So let me just say both of them are great choices. I just would like to know what you feel the CSP will give you that the Gold won't. Do you prefer the Blue Cash every day or the green card? Blue Cash every day for sure over the green card. Apple Card is a good card. Yeah, Apple Card is a good card. Self just said my score dropped by 4 points, but everything is paid on time. Is there a reason why? I mean, I can't say without looking because I'm not sure. But it could have just been your utilization or something like that. But I'm not sure without looking. I don't know. I do know that Self reports your Vantage score, so I wouldn't really put too much stock into the score that they're reporting at all, because it's your Vantage score, it's not your FICO score. So your FICO score probably didn't even move, to be honest. But yeah. The best Chase credit card? Oh, that's not a fair question because they have credit cards for different like things, like a travel card. They have an everyday card. But my favorite one, I guess, would be, I guess, the Chase Sapphire preferred, honestly, or maybe the Chase Freedom. I'd be liking a flex and an unlimited, depends. So I'm just gonna say like the flex because it's more like flexible. I want to know what they want. Is it normal that Experian opened disputes online after I sent the letters? They probably didn't open the dispute online, but they're keeping you up to date on your online account. That's typically what they do. Now, again, I don't see it, so I'm not sure, but make sure it's just kind of like a thing where it's alerting you or keeping you up to date as opposed to an online. If you didn't submit an online dispute though, you should be fine. It should just be updating you. Just like when they have your results, they'll probably deliver it electronically through your account, and that's completely fine. Just make sure you reply via mail. Is it real difficult to get back with Chase and Amex? Yeah, I would say those are the two most difficult companies to get back with because they hold grudges. But it depends on what you did. It depends on like what happened. Does freezing third-party reports such as LexisNexis prevent information from being updated within the Credit Karma app? So no. And not even within the Credit Karma app, because the Credit Karma app is not the score that lenders are looking at anyway. But to rephrase your question, locking any of your third-party reports like LexisNexis does not keep the credit bureaus out of that information. Like, they're still privy to the information. They still can access your report even if you fully locked your LexisNexis or any other third-party report. They can still access it. So no, to answer your question. So the best way is to just clean your report. Don't try to, locking it, you can lock it, of course, to protect your identity from other people, but credit bureaus, the companies that you apply for credit with, collection agencies, or any of your current creditors, they will still have access to that information. So just clean it as opposed to trying to like hide it, because you're not hiding it. What credit score should you have when applying for a Chase Sapphire? So it's not the score. They're more so going to look at your payment history. Do you have any late? If you have any late payments within the last 18 months, I would not apply for a Chase card nor an Amex card. If you have any collections or charge-offs within the last 18 to 24 months, I would not apply for them. If you have older like charge-offs or collections, then you may be in the running to, qualify for the card. Only if you have current accounts that are open right now that you have a great history with. So no late payments on your current credit cards, low utilization on your current credit cards. Any loans that you have, you're making the payment, at least the monthly payment. Is it a such thing as too many credit cards? Not in a like overall type of thing, but it's a such thing as like adding too many credit cards too soon. So like if you find yourself opening more than 3 credit cards within a year, like then that is like excessive to a lot of lenders. Like more than 3, it's kind of just like, no, it's too much. Or what will happen is you'll just continue to get like low limit credit cards, or you'll continue to get credit cards like within the same tier that you are on, like all of your current credit cards. If you have $500 limit, $1,000 limit, you'll continue to get limits like that if you try to build too fast. What is the best advice to pay down your credit cards? I like the effect of tiering my utilization so that you can maximize all of the points that you can get for utilization. And what I mean by that is my first kind of like threshold is any credit cards over 68%. I like to lower them to at least under 68% for any credit cards. And then once you get all of your current credit cards to at least 68%, your next threshold should be 48%. So lowering all of your 68% credit cards or above to 48%. Once you get all of your credit cards under 48%, then the next threshold is going to be 28%. And then after 28% is going to, if you can, is going to be under 10%, because that's kind of like where you want to remain on a consistent basis. When does FICO 10T come out? FICO 10T is out, child. It is out, and we are already assigned a score. The best business card, my favorite business cards are from Amex and Chase. The Business Ink is one of my favorite cards. The Blue Business Plus from Amex is one of my favorite business cards. And those are like my favorite ones, I would say. Would you recommend leveraging your credit? I have a 750, but don't know what to do with it. So that's going to be obviously on you and your spending patterns and all of that. But I personally, I do, of course. But yeah, I have no issue with it. I love it. But it definitely takes like a level of responsibility that you got to make sure you hold yourself accountable, making those large payments back, because there will be large payments back. But Yeah, a blank credit report. Wait, a blank credit report means what to a mortgage lender? It means nothing. It means no credit is the same as bad credit. So you have to build credit. If you are trying to buy a home, let's say next year, you should be right now getting a credit card. I would prefer you to get two because it's going to help you and help your mortgage score. So you should have right now at least two credit cards. If you want to crawl into it, just get one. If you don't trust yourself fully with a credit card, just get one and kind of like, make sure you be responsible, learn how to pay it, all of that. Um, and then eventually get two, hopefully. But that's the perfect way. But no credit is the same as bad credit to any lender because they don't know how you're going to act with it. They don't know if you're going to be responsible with it at all. So the only way to show them is to like build credit so that they can see that you are responsible. When are you going to let us pay you to train and educate and empower people about? I train y'all now. Are you talking about like one-on-one? I don't know. I just don't know how it would be possible, like with my schedule. I think about it all the time, but I'm just like, I really don't know how it would be possible. Like genuinely, I don't know how that would be possible. That's why I like to do like webinars here and there. I started with a Capital One Platinum, graduated to the Quicksilver. Also have an unsecured Discover It. I feel like I'm ready for a mid-tier car, thinking of Chase or Amex suggestions. So I would say I feel like you're ready as well, based on what you have told me. Make sure your utilization is below 10%, and then I would apply for whatever cards you want, like you said, either the Chase or Amex. I can't pick between those because I like both. I'm a fan of both. So I would just like compare the cards and see which one like naturally aligns with how you spend. Because I like both. I like you're not gonna go wrong with either or, in my opinion. I would say though, maybe get a Chase first and then an Amex because most of American Express's like best cards are charge cards as opposed to credit cards. So like, yeah, get Chase first. I would get Chase first. The best time to apply for a credit card, like in terms of like seasons or time of the year or like credit profile wise, because the best time, I guess, is technically to apply is holiday season, of course, because a lot of banks will reserve certain funds or credit limits for holiday season. Literally the day after Thanksgiving. So starting really you can really apply probably like the day before Thanksgiving, but I like to wait until the day after Thanksgiving to either ask for a credit limit increase or like if I want to apply for a credit card, I would apply then. Let me see. Yeah, 3 in 1 year is more than 3 in 1 year is a little excessive. Which disputing process works best for you, factual or typical dispute? I do both. I do both. It just depends on the account because not every account is going to have a factual error. I always, regardless if I'm doing factual or traditional disputing, I always start off traditionally, and you should as well. Don't ever start off pointing out dispute reasons. Don't ever give a dispute reasons within the first really 3 rounds. And factual disputes should be saved for later, in my opinion. It like without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. I met all the credit card tips you gave, and they denied me saying I don't use my card enough. So that means you don't use it enough. How much are you using your card? What is your limit? You got to use your card more. You got to use your card more. That's it. Like that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest reason why people get denied for credit limit increases. You have to use your card. And maybe the transactions that you're using, maybe they were too small. I'm not sure, but give me your limit and then tell me how many transactions you have posted. How often do you use your credit cards? I use a credit card anytime I spend, every day. Like I live off my credit cards, but I constantly pay them back. But I live off my credit cards. Should I work on getting a bankruptcy removed first or close the accounts within the bankruptcy? Always the bankruptcy first and then challenge the accounts. Let me see. Oh shit, I didn't know I was that behind on questions on TikTok. Should I get a credit card before getting a car from the dealership? 1000%. Credit card should always be your first trade line. You never want your credit age. You never want your credit age on the back of a loan, because a loan is going to eventually close, and that's going to do a lot of unnecessary damage to your credit profile in terms of like you losing credit days that you didn't have to lose had you just got a credit card first. So I always recommend credit card first, 1000%. It'll also make for a better term or credit terms when you do apply for a car. So typically speaking, I would always recommend having a credit card for at least 3 months. And then if you decide you want to purchase a car, then do that. So if you can wait, like if you can wait another 3 months for your car, get a credit card now, use it obviously responsibly, pay it back to under 10% for 3 months. And then yeah. But if you can't wait, still get your credit card. Hopefully you can wait at least one billing cycle so it can like start reporting before you get it. I have like 10 medical collections. Should I start with the HIPAA letter? Absolutely. You should definitely send a HIPAA letter. But if they're under $500, you don't have to even challenge them. They'll be deleted soon. 1,500 only when I buy something. Okay, so for a $1,500 credit limit, and if you're what company is it? First of all, what company is it? Because that definitely makes a big difference. I'm going to assume it's probably Discover or Capital One, but I could be wrong. So there's no number that's too many credit cards overall. Because I mean, I have a lot of credit cards, but you know, you can have a credit card for years. So I have credit cards that are 10 years old or, you know, whatever. So there's no total number that's like too much as long as you can manage it, obviously. I will say the more credit cards you get, the more you need to keep your utilization low because lenders are definitely going to be less lenient if you have more available credit, but still hold high utilization. Like they don't do that. They're a little more lenient when it's like you got one or two credit cards. It's easy to run up a credit card if you only have $200. But if you stepping into 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40, 50, you know, whatever, make sure you are managing your credit limit. Capital One, I figured. For Capital One, see, yeah, you know how I feel about them. So it's like you can. So if they told you that you didn't spend more, obviously you should spend more than what you have been spending. But also like you really ain't gonna expect much out of them because it's not like they're gonna give you that much. So maybe like still have that card, still use it, but maybe look into getting a card that actually has a growing potential, like maybe with Chase Citi or Amex, because those are the cards that's really gonna grow. Capital One, they gonna give you a few hundred, and that may be like it. Maybe they'll give you a few thousand here and there, but they're not really gonna give you that much. The Citi Rewards, yeah, Citi has some of my favorite credit cards. The Citi Rewards, which one is that? Because my favorite Citi card is the Custom Cash or the Double Cash. Let me look at the Citi Rewards. Citi Reward, what color is it? Citi, yeah. What is that? Blue. So is that the Custom Cash? Because or is it another card actually called Citi Rewards? That one's not ringing a bell. Let me look at all Citi credit cards. My Amex card is trash. Which Amex do you have? What report does Citi pull? I want to say Citi pulls Experian. The Citi, hold on. I have all their cards right here. Let me look. Citi Rewards. Oh, the kind of like teal one. Let me look at it. It looked good, but let me see. I just don't like how they. Okay, it's a really good, like, I would say like starter mid-tier cards, because the only reason why I say starter is because the most they're going to give you is $1 spent at restaurants. $1. I mean, hold on. 5 thank you points. Hold on. It's confusing how they're wording this. Hold on. Let me make sure I know what's going on. So they give you earn 1 thank you point for. Oh, okay. So they basically they match your money spent on restaurants. So 1 for 1, which is, in my opinion, is not really good. Cause like, for example, the Citi, we'll just even do the Double Cash, which is probably like their most popular card. The Double Cash is at least going to double your purchases, and they'll give you double the cash back. That one, they only gonna match it dollar for dollar, which, you know, that it's okay, but it's just not like you could be maximizing your cash back or points another way. I have a question. Are you a fan of transferring debt to one trade line for lower interest? You're referring to doing a balance transfer, and I have no issue with that. I definitely can see why most people would do it, obviously, because you're going to pay less interest. I will say though, your FICO 10T scores, it's going to penalize you for that. Oh, that dog is huge as hell. Citi and Chase hate me. Have you had a relationship going bad with them? Why you feel like they hate you? Because they won't approve you? TransUnion sent a letter saying, I am not one disputing, but I am. What is the next step? So this is what you do. You need to send them a letter back saying, this is me. I am disputing. I am including a copy of my ID. Please do not delay my dispute process any longer. That's a stall tactic. Lip combo. Just a brown highlighter, and then the I just had it. It's somewhere up here. Then the shit. When I find it, I just had it. Oh, then it's the butter gloss in vanilla cream pie. Can you tell me? Oh shit, I forgot I was on. I forgot I was on live on what's it called? Let me get some of y'all questions. My bad. My utilization is over 90%. Don't get on me. To bring it down, would you suggest paying one card at a time across the board? So I would suggest getting any card that's over 68%, get those under 68% first. Like whatever card is at 90% or 80% or whatever, get any card over 68%, at least to 68 or under. That's like your first goal. And then once you've gotten all of your cards to at least 68, get them all down to at least 48%. And then 28%, and then below 10%. That's going to like help you maximize the points as you're on your way down in terms of utilization. Told what was non-refundable. I think you're talking to somebody in a comment. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Team Scorpio. My birthday is in 2 weeks. Happy birthday. Let me see. Chase has pre-approved me for 3 credit cards and don't know which one to pick. Which ones have they pre-approved you for? Do I have to send a copy of my ID with the dispute? Yeah, any dispute you send to the credit bureaus, you do need to send a copy of your ID. I paid collections with Portfolio Recovery and they removed the collections from my reports. Is it possible to dispute the original charge off to get it deleted? It's certainly possible. Do I think that it'll be, it's like a 10% chance you'll get it deleted. So obviously you can try. The worst they can do is say no, but like, it depends on who the original creditor is, but chances are that may be hard to get deleted, but should still try. Hey, does Chase or Citi have starter cards? Chase's starter card, which is kind of like walking the line between like a mid-tier and a starter. I would say like the Chase Slate Edge is a really good one. And then the Citi has a secure card. So yeah. How is Georgia law different? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like what law? How long after purchasing a vehicle should I wait to apply for a mortgage? So it's best to be at least 6 months from any newly opened accounts when you are applying for a mortgage, at least 6 months, because your mortgage score will definitely benefit from having no new accounts within the last 6 months. I tried to get TransUnion to delete some inquiries and they won't budge. Because you're probably wasting your time asking them to delete inquiries. But yeah, they not really. You can try to fight inquiries. I mean, I'm just not the person who wastes my time fighting inquiries personally. What else is on your credit report that you can worry about? Because your inquiries is not going to make a difference in your credit report. It's not going to help you start like getting approved for anything that you are not getting approved for right now. So I just don't trip on inquiries because they just don't make that much of it. They don't mean that much. People think that they mean more than they mean. If they're over a year old, they're not even counted against your score anymore. If they are loan increase, so if you installment increase, so if you apply for a car or apply for a home, whether they ran your credit 15 times, 20 times, all of those were deduplicated anyway. So those are all not counting against you. 90% of inquiries don't even count against us. So you could try to get inquiries deleted, or we can focus on something that's really going to actually make a change on your credit report. I say do that because that's really what's going to make the difference. How to remove bankruptcy. I have a full detailed video on YouTube about how to remove a bankruptcy. My YouTube channel is Shonda Martin. Go follow that video just because it's detailed. It will be here all day, like me telling you step by step. How long do I have to wait to apply for the CSP? How long do you have to wait from what? you got to fill in the blanks. How long do you have to wait from what? what would be the next step after doing a voluntary repo? So that's going to hit you. That's going to hit your credit hard. I'm going to be honest with you. And regardless if it's voluntary or involuntary, it'll all still mean the same on your credit report. The term word, the red flag word is just repossession. Whether it was, like I said, voluntary or involuntary, it'll still affect you the same way. The best thing that you can do, since it's already happened, make sure that you have a credit card. Number one, if you don't have a credit card, you need to get a credit card. The reason why you need to get a credit card is because the credit card will give you the ability to about 165 points if you manage it correctly. You need to make sure that you report a utilization extremely low. I would say, since you have a recent major derogatory like a repo, between 1 and 3%. 1 and 3%. You cannot afford to go any higher, especially any higher than 10%, if you want to like increase your credit score with a large derogatory that is recent. So the best thing you can do is have a credit card with extremely low utilization to kind of balance out the negative impact that repo will cause when it does hit your report. What kind of credit score do I need to apply for a CD Double Cash? I would say at least one existing credit card already on your credit profile, primary, obviously in your name. I would say have your utilization low, but below 10% at the time of your application. No late payments within the last 18 months. No new collections or charge-offs within the last 18 months as well. Yeah. And then I would say like, yeah, you should be good with applying for that card. Can I request adjustments on APR? So you can try to go directly to the company to ask them to adjust your APR. I like to do the CEO email method. If you haven't been with them for at least 2 years, it's typically not going to be successful. Like, you have to be with them for at least 24 months. You have to make sure that you have no late payments, and the history with them is extremely great, meaning like your utilization nowhere near like under 10%. Like, because if you have high utilization, then they're not going to lower it. Will the Biden relief have a large impact on my credits? So it depends. It depends on what's currently on your credit profile. It depends, because it's so hard to say, guys. I'm not sure what else is on your credit profile. If you only have student loans on your credit profile, it'll probably negatively impact your score, because if your student loans are paid off, it'll cause all of those student loan accounts to close, and you're going to lose a lot of credit age. If you have built credit outside of your student loans, like have credit cards, have other installments, then it'll impact you, but probably not as much as someone who don't have any other accounts, for sure. Apparently it's supposed to come within the next 2 weeks, but I mean, they say a lot, so I'll keep y'all updated on that. What would be a good profile to get approved? So basically the profile that I just named for Citi is the same for any mid-tier card on up. So after you leave the starter card area, the Capital One Platinums, the Capital One Quicksilvers, the Discover, it's after you leave that starting card area and you move to like mid-tier and top-tier cards, it's the same. The only difference is like time, I would say. So like, make sure you don't have any late pay. Any major lender is going to usually automatically deny you for any late payments within the last 18 to 24 months. Any new collections within the last 18 to 24 months, as well as new charge-offs, repossessions, or public records. So if you have any of those within the last 18 to 24 months, if you have a late payment within the last 18 to 24 months, is not the best time to apply for like a mid-tier or top-tier credit card, because they pretty much all have the same qualifications. Can a settled collection be removed from your credit report? Not unless the company agrees to do a pay to delete, or you can find an error in how it's reporting. What are top tier credit cards? It's a lot of them, but like some of them would be like, the Amex Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is really kind of mid tier though. The Citi Premier, I don't think off the top of my head, but yeah, those are like some examples of top tier card. Pretty much any great travel card is all automatically considered a top tier card. Any trade line that has the ability to grow to at least $100,000 is typically a top tier card. Mid tier cards pretty much cap out at like 50, 60K per trade line. Starter cards, on average, they'll cap out at like $2,000. So, but with most of them probably being below $1,500 or like $500. Student cards are all starter cards. Somebody I know got denied trying to get their first credit card off Credit Karma, Capital One, Platinum, secured and unsecured. What would you recommend them doing? I recommend them never, ever, ever going off what Credit Karma is saying. That's number one. Credit Karma is actually in an active lawsuit right now because the false representation that they claim that you may be qualified for a card and you're not. It's an advertisement. Like literally, the reason why Credit Karma is free is because companies pay them to advertise to you. So they want to get you to click on those. So don't ever go off what Credit Karma is reporting. That's number one. Number two, you said she got denied. What does she have any existing credit? Does she have any loans? Does she have any collections, any charge-offs? What is her credit profile at right now? Because if she got denied for the Capital One Platinum secured, it just will lead me to believe that there's something negative on her credit profile and she may have to start at a subprime card. But just give me more information because I'm not sure. After getting a medical collection deleted off your credit report, but the collection agency sends a verification letter, do I still have to pay it? So getting something removed from your credit report does not remove the debt from your obligation. Like it's still your debt. It just can't be reported on your credit report for whatever reason. Medical collection deleted from your report. So I will settle that. I will settle it. Is Apple Card a good credit card? Apple Card is a good credit card, yeah. Is City Simplicity a good card? Let me see. Here we go. Right here it says. Okay, yeah. So it would be like, yeah, that would be kind of like a City starter card. Like that would be an example of a City starter card. If you already have a credit card, I wouldn't recommend that you apply for that one because I would say like that it doesn't give you anything that like any other starter card will give you. I wouldn't apply for that one. I would apply for at least like the double cash or the cut. So you're getting something out of your credit card. I don't personally like credit cards that gives you nothing because what is the difference between that and a debit card at that point? You know, so what do you think about the Chase Freedom? Love it. Chase Freedom Flex, Chase Freedom Unlimited, two of my favorite cards. Good starter cards from Navy Federal, credit score 710. If you have a credit score of a 710, I wouldn't even be looking at a starter card. What is your 710 on Augusta? Like, do you have credit cards in your name or are you just like an AU on someone else's credit card? Because if you already have a 710 based on primary trade lines on your credit cards, you shouldn't even entertain a starter card. When requesting credit limit increase, how much to ask for? It depends on the bank and the card. that heavily depends. Because if we're talking about Amex, I'm gonna always ask them to 3x my limit. If we're talking about Chase, I'm gonna ask them to double it. If we're talking about Citi, I'll ask for it in like $5,000 to $10,000 increments, depending on like what card you have. So that depends. Yeah, the Chase, I said Chase Freedom Flex and Chase Freedom Unlimited. And the only pretty much difference is one will cap you with how much you're able to earn in a certain category, and one will have like rotating categories. The Flex will have no. The Unlimited does not cap you. I'm sorry, but the Flex has rotating categories where they reward you more for a category that you spend the most money in. So like if you're spending more on gas or groceries, they're going to, I want to say, give you 4x the points. Yeah. I have a 743 credit score. I feel stuck. What's some ways to go up? Should I just try to get another card? Oh, that question, I without knowing what's on your credit profile, is so hard for me to like say without, you know what I mean? Like that's hard. So fill in the blanks. You got to let me know what you currently have. Because the score, when y'all say score, that really doesn't ring for me because you can have a 750 based on you being an authorized user. And that would be different from you having a 750 based on primary trade line. So more so, instead of telling me your score, tell me what you have on your profile. Because the score just doesn't matter. Would you say Apple Card is mid-tier? Apple Card is considered a mid-tier card, yes. What are your thoughts on putting your teenager as an authorized user on Chase? So I have 2 children. My child is 10. He won't get on my credit card till he's at least 17 and a half, really, but I'll say 17. If adding them before then doesn't like come with any additional benefits, it's not like it's going to make their credit history longer because they can't build credit before 18 anyway. As long as you add them at least 6 months before their 18th birthday, they'll turn 18 with like a 750 credit score or a 730 credit score. But that credit score is not a true credit score. I want to be very clear. That's called a fluff score. Whenever your credit score is extremely inflated based on another person's credit history on an authorized user account, that's considered a fluff score. So you want to make sure that as soon as they turn 18, you get them a credit card in their own name because they cannot build their entire credit history based on your account. They'll never get quality offers. They'll never get really great credit limits. Again, it's just a fluff score. So make sure that they get their own trade line. Is there a way and then also, honestly, like if I go 10T, the authorized user account is probably not even going to count. So we're moving into a new arena when it comes to credit right now, where authorized user accounts has been heavily abused, or piggybacking has been heavily abused, and a lot of companies are not liking that. So fully prepare your child to have their own primary trade lines. They can't just be all on your cards. I wouldn't even add them to more than one. Like, I don't see the point in adding them when some parents add them to like 3 different cards. It makes no sense. Like, get them their own primary trade line so they can have their own true, like, good credit. How would I settle that medical collection? So you would just send a settlement letter to whatever company. Damn, hold on. Let me turn my phone on silent. All right. So you would just send a settlement letter to whatever collection agency has the account. Do you like City Premier as a travel card? I like City Premier, but I don't know about no travel card. Let me look at it. I love the City Premier card, but let me see. Yeah, they definitely not gonna be a travel card. I mean, I wouldn't, no. Only because for a travel card, they're only giving you 3 points per dollar spent on travel, hotels, and gas stations. Now that's amazing for gas stations, but like travel, no, because you can get the Chase. You can get, let me see if City has another option. I don't really like City for their travel cards, but let me just see if they have another like card, I guess, for travel. Yeah, because City does has that partnership with I want to say American Airlines. Yeah, American Airlines. If you fly American Airlines, then I would get like the AA Advantage, which is their American Airlines card. Or if you fly any like airline, if you're not like tied to one airline, get like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Amex Platinum if you travel a lot. I love the Amex Gold. It's one of my favorite cards. I just got the City Premier, but only for the sign-up bonus and transfer partners. No, I like the City Premier card. Like, I would use that card for everyday use. I would use that card for grocery shopping. I would use that card for like restaurants. I wouldn't use it for travel because they just don't give you enough back, like for your travel purchases. But see, because the custom cash is honestly, it's a better travel card than the Premier card, and is it no annual fee or a low annual fee? No annual fee. So that, like, I would use the custom cash before I use the Premier card, and the custom cash doesn't even it's technically considered a lower tier card than their Premier card, but it gives you more because it at least gives you 5%. But see, I don't like cash back. I'm a points person. I like points. So yeah, I just wouldn't use, me personally, I wouldn't use it for travel. Yeah, the double. Do you recommend the Chase Sapphire Preferred as a good starter travel card? Yeah, that's a really good card. What credit should I get my 18-year-old student? If they're a student, I would either get them I would go City student card. I don't know what it's called, but if you just search like City student, it should come up, or like the Chase Slate Edge. Let me see. No, Amex doesn't have necessarily like a starter card. They have pretty much mid-tier and all top-tier cards. What's the best to save money? I have 18K transfer, apply for 0 APR, low interest loan, 747 credit. Wait, I'm confused. So I have 8. So you have 18K, and what are you asking? What do you mean? What's the best way to save? I think I'm getting a little confused when you say what's the best way to save, and you're asking about credit cards. What exactly do you mean? You said apply for. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm on YouTube as well. Spend what you want as long as you're talking to someone. It said you're indecisive between which 2 cards. You can cash out the points. I know you can cash out the points because a lot of people are saying that you can cash out the points, but it's not equal value. So like anytime, even with Amex, anytime you change your points or your cash back into bill credit or cashing it out, the value of the points goes down. So I like travel, the value of points are always going to be at its peak when you are purchasing traveling, like when you are using it like to fly, to purchase flights, or when you are transferring it like to a travel partner or transfer partner. The value goes down when you try to to get bill credit or to get the cash value of it. It always goes down. So then it's just kind of like pointless in my opinion.
I found this on the web.
Okay, but I didn't ask you to find nothing on the web. Credit union cards recommended. Navy Federal probably has the best credit union cards. Navy, yeah, they probably had the best credit union cards if that's what you're looking for. How can I get a top tier card with no annual fee and 0% APR? You won't get a top tier card for that, unfortunately, because in order, like, listen, the no annual fees and the 0 APR, I'm not gonna hold you. That pretty much stops after starter, and then like some mid tier cards will say no annual fee, but any card that is top tier, it means that it comes with perks. The perks, unfortunately, always comes with like an annual fee. Like if you're gonna get if you have a credit card with no annual fee, chances are you don't have many perks with that credit card. So yeah, I don't know. Do you mind paying annual fees? No, me personally, I don't mind paying annual. All of my favorite cards have annual fees. I don't mind paying them because I know that I use my credit cards in a way that like I would always benefit more than like the annual fee. I make sure that I know every benefit to each of my credit cards and I use them for what they are most beneficial in. Like the Amex Gold card, that is in my opinion, that's the best like restaurant, grocery, Uber card. Like if you are at a restaurant, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm always have my gold. If I'm at a supermarket, I'm always pull out my American Express Gold card because they're going to give me 4x points for every dollar that I spend. And that adds up quick. So imagine like when you go, if I go to the grocery store, my average grocery store bill really is going to be at least nowadays, it's like at least $250 to $300, right? So if I use my gold card, that's 1,200 points off one grocery visit. It takes about domestically, it takes about 5,000 to 6,000 points for every round trip flight. So you could just, add that up to see how often I'm able to have or gain enough points to purchase travel free, right? Like, for example, and I always say this, but I just want to kind of paint the full picture. I don't pay for travel. I don't pay for travel because I use my points. And the only reason why I have so many points to where I haven't had to spend a single red cent on travel in the last 3 years is literally because I use my credit cards that give me points for everything. If I'm at a gas station, if I'm going to McDonald's, if I'm going to Starbucks, anything that I spend in terms of my everyday use is always going to be on a credit card because I want points. I want points. Or if you have a credit card with cash back, then you could be racking up some cash back, but you want something. Credit age is 6 to 7 years. I have under 2.5K in debt. One self credit card, one self loan. Any advice on increasing credit age is 6 to 7 years? I have under 2.5K in debt collections. I have one self credit card and one self loan. So I wouldn't advise you to get another credit card right now because really your issue is those collections. Regardless of the amount of collections, like you can have a collection for $1 and it'll still negatively impact you the same as a collection for $1,000. So the amount of your debt in terms of collection doesn't matter. How many collections do you have? So I would focus on that because that's where your points are being held up at. That's why, like, I think you're the one who said you were stuck at, I think you said like 6, 7, 18 or something. You're stuck because those collections are still weighing on your score. Adding another credit card right now is not really going to do much because you already have a credit card. Now, I would be more interested in on what your utilization is because that's definitely going to make a difference in your score. I would definitely make sure that your utilization is below 10%. If you want to increase over like 750, between 1 and 3%. Is your settlement letter in another video or on your website? I have a settlement letter in a DIY kit. I also have one on the Instagram page as well. You can a settlement letter though is not really special. You literally can Google one for free. So like if you're just needing a settlement letter, don't buy the full kit. Like you can literally Google a settlement letter because a settlement letter isn't, again, it's just nothing special. It's just you asking them, would you agree to this settlement for X amount of dollars? Blah blah blah. I want to buy a home. Hold on, shit, it's going fast. I want to buy a home, but I'm almost done paying off my car. What should I do, being that my score may drop? It ain't gonna drop that much. If you is it early? Are you paying it off early, or is it like the natural payoff date? Because that makes a difference. And also, any loan that you have that has less than 10% of the balance remaining is actually going to improve your mortgage scores. So this may be the perfect time for you to get a home loan. I have damn, my mouth dry. My throat dry. Do you think FICO 10T scores could be used for CCs as well? Oh, absolutely. They were made for the score was made for lenders, for banks and lenders. So they're absolutely going to transition over to FICO 10T. It's just super expensive to do so right now. So I know it's just going to take like a year or two. But y'all know recently Fannie Mae or FHA, which basically controls the housing market, they have recently approved FICO 10T for mortgage score. So it's literally going to replace FICO 2, 4, and 5, which is what we've been using in the mortgage industry since 90 or since 86. So I mean since 96. So that it's going to be accepted in the mortgage industry within the next year or two. So start preparing now, because you keep in mind FICO 10T is trended data. So it's 24-month history on each of your accounts. So right now you need to be very aware of the utilization that you are reporting, especially if you know you're trying to buy a home within the next 2 years or further, like, you know, obviously outside of the 2 years. But like if you know you are going to be in the house market next year or the year after or years after that, they will be using FICO 10T. So keep that in mind right now while you are spending on your credit cards, because it definitely will affect the score. Yeah, you can see your FICO 10T score right now, but you got to pay. You got to you can only get it from FICO 10. I mean, you can only get it from My FICO right now. Should I pay my lower credit card off or the higher card off and put some money on both? Well, it depends. It depends. Hold on. You maybe try to get your higher one down first. Well, no, actually, I would pay the lower one off first, so you can have at least one credit card with an extremely low utilization, because that'll help your average as well. And it's easier to pay off your lower card first. So I would pay that off first, and then I would work on a higher one. I got a burp. I have a CC reporting 60, 90, 120 late. How would I word that dispute? If it's an open account, you can't challenge that payment history without the account closing. So or you can ask the company directly to give you a goodwill, but they probably won't do that, being that it's so many lates. Yeah, you can't challenge that with the credit bureaus though. I have a collection letter because of Navy Federal, but it's 2 different companies. Is that normal? What do you mean it's 2 different companies? Right, small to large, exactly. Just so you can have the more credit cards you have with a lower balance, with a lower utilization, will average out the higher one as you are working your way to pay that down. To respond, I have 3 debt collections, 1 repossession, 2 high. Okay, that now we're getting a full picture. So those are what you should be worried about for sure. The debt collections, the repossession, and the high usage credit card. That's what's holding your score down. Adding another credit card right now is not going to do much at all for your score. Yeah, the DIY kit. To save money on interest, I have 18K. Should I get 0% APR or low interest loan for 747 credit score? To save money on interest, I have 18K. Should I get 0% APR? I'm still confused, because what are you trying to pay off? Like, I mean, because that's what's confusing. You're not listing what you just said. You have 18K. Do you have 18K cash, or do you have 18K in credit card debt? Where's the 18K coming from? That's what I was confused about. Is Credit Karma accurate? It's not that it's not accurate. It's just not the scores that lenders are pulling, right? So it's accurate for a Vantage score, whatever, you know, that means, because lenders are not pulling Vantage score. They're pulling FICO score as of now. So it's accurate for a Vantage score. It's just not accurate for a FICO score. And the information that they're reporting is typically accurate. It's just not the credit score is not. Should you settle medical debt under 500? You don't have to settle it. It'll be removed automatically. What's easier to remove from a credit report, voluntary repo or bankruptcy? Bankruptcy, to be honest, bankruptcy. Repos are hard as hell to remove, and the bigger the company is, the harder it is to get removed, because chances are they didn't make a mistake in repossessing the vehicle. They didn't make a mistake in like the paperwork and stuff that they have to file. But if it's like a buy here, pay here place, those are typically a little easier, way easier to be deleted. But for sure, bankruptcy, in my opinion, is easier than a repo. I just got married and my address changed. How do I handle that in terms of getting the old address attached to closed collection and medical collection? So first, you need to update all of your current lenders. So anyone that you are currently paying, any credit card that you have open, any loan that you have open, update all of your current creditors to your new address so that everyone is reporting the same address. After you have done that for at least 2 billing cycles to ensure that everything is updated on your credit report to your most recent address, then you can challenge the address that's attached to your old account. But none of your current creditors can be reporting that address if you want to get that deleted. What time is it? It's 11. Repo falls off in 7 years. Every derogatory account on your credit report only has a 7-year reporting time, but it is only from the date of first delinquency. So it's not from when you open the account. It's from when the account was moved into a repossession status or moved into a derogatory status. Can you use the date of last activity factual dispute method for both collections and charge-offs? You can challenge, anything that's factually incorrect on the account, you can use that for a factual dispute. It doesn't have to be the date of last activity, but that's a big one for, I would say, charge-offs, the date of last activity. Anything you can advise for Hurricane Ian survivors delaying debt? That's a little hard because unfortunately, the only thing in terms of credit that can happen is they can put the natural disaster remark on your credit report, which it doesn't do anything in the real world. If I'm being honest with you, it's one of those like vanity remarks, in my opinion. Like they do it and they try to make it seem like it's helping you, and it's not really helping you because lenders don't care, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm not sure if there are any special programs or anything. What can you do if you're a victim of identity theft? You need to file an identity theft report either with the police department or with the on ftc.gov. And you need to like list the account that was opened, as a result of identity theft, and then you need to send it to the credit bureaus. You also need to follow up about a week or two later and call to make sure that it was routed to the fraud department as opposed to like a regular dispute, because you don't want them to process. You shouldn't be sending any regular dispute letters that does not go in line with identity theft, because you don't want to dispute the account for validation or dispute the account for verification. None of that if it's identity theft. It's just different rules that they have to play by. Should I dispute inquiries that should charge off within 30 days, or should I wait until it falls off? That inquiry isn't affecting your score. So even if you do dispute it right now and get it deleted right now, your score literally won't budge. Like it won't move even a point, because after a year, an inquiry does not have any impact on your score, like 0. So I would just wait. Like your lenders don't care about the inquiry. You care about it, but your inquiries don't care about that. Your lenders don't care about that inquiry. So if you were to apply for credit right now, that inquiry is not going to be any determining factor on if you're going to be approved or not. It's 2 years old. It's about to fall off next month. Like they literally don't care about that. They really, the only increase that companies truly care about is credit card increase within the last 6 to 9 months. And I'll just say 9 because it depends on the company. So credit card increase within the last 9 months is what they care about, because they want to know, did you get approved for that credit card or did you not get approved for the credit card? If you didn't get approved for that credit card, then that's obviously a red flag, because why are you not getting approved for the credit card? Are you not fit for the credit card? Did the company not see you fit? Should we be worried? Should we not see you fit for a credit card? When it comes to loans, not really. They don't care about those, especially if you have multiple if you went to go buy a car and they ran your credit 15 times. If you are getting a mortgage and you are comparing rates, and you may have, filled out applications for 3 or 4 home mortgage loans, they don't care about that because they know that you are comparing rates. They care about credit card increase though. What bureau does Chase pull from? Chase pulls from Equifax and Experian. They do a double pull. A medical collector professional portfolio keeps reporting the same 163 collection. When deleted each month, bring down my score. What to do? A medical collection professional. So are you saying you're getting it removed and then it's coming back? If that is the case, whenever you get something removed, you should always settle it, because removing anything from your credit report does not mean that the debt does not belong to you. It just means that there was an issue in how it was reporting, and it cannot be reported on your credit report. So if you settle it, it won't come back. I have a collection. Thank you, C. Ivy, as well as, who is this other person? Day. Thank you. I have a collection letter because of Navy Federal, but it's 2 different companies. Is that normal? It shouldn't be, like, unless I want to make sure I understand you correct. So you're getting 2 separate collection letters for the same debt. Is that what you're saying? Either way, you need to be sending them a debt validation letter. Anytime you get any collection letter, your immediate response to any company, anyone, should always be to send a debt validation letter. And you need to send it within 30 days of receiving the letter, or it pretty much won't count. So your response, whoever is sending you collection notices, your response immediately should be a debt validation letter, like ASAP, because it's timed. Dang, you got a medical collection for $505. You know what's crazy? They really are cutting off at $4.99. So you are $6 from that collection being removed for free. So damn, that's messed up because you're right on the cuff. So you're gonna probably have to settle that. I would try to settle for like $150 or something like that. I got my LexisNexis report. How do I dispute the old addresses? So you would just send a letter and you would say, the following addresses are not associated with me. I do not live. I cannot be reached by mail at the following addresses. And you would list the addresses. But like I said, you have to make sure that all of your current creditors are not reporting any of the addresses that you are disputing, because it won't be deleted. With the new 10T, if your utilization is high right now, would you be able to qualify for a house next year, or is it best to wait? So I don't think that they'll, based on what my lender is saying and what, just whatever, when a new scoring model is adopted, it takes like 1 to 2 full years to fully implement across the industry. So if you are buying a home within the next 12 to 24 months, I would say that they'll still be going off the native FICO 2, 4, and 5, as opposed to FICO 10T. It was just approved like literally 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it hasn't been implemented. It was only approved, which is obviously just step one. If you're buying a house like in 2023, I highly doubt that they'll be going off FICO 10T. It'll surprise me. I'll say that. But so just prepare your FICO 2, 4, and 5 scores. Best Chase credit card for every day, such as grocery, shopping, hotel, and travel. Probably the Flex, either the Chase Freedom Flex or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. You can't go wrong with either. Debt 7,000 sold to a collection agency. What is the next step after the verification letter? What verification letter? What verification letter did you send, and who did you send the verification letter to? I was paying on a resort. How can I add it to dispute? I was paying on a resort. What do you mean you was paying on a resort? Like a vacation resort? Or is it like a timeshare? What do you mean? What are you referring to when you say medical collections under 500 will be removed? So there was a new bylaw passed a few months ago where they pretty much did a study and seen that medical bills from the pandemic was the number one most common collection type. And there was over, I forget the number, but I want to say like over 80 billion or something like that dollars on credit reports for only medical debt. So to combat that, they came out with a new rule, and it says that any medical collection that has a balance under $500, it cannot report to your credit report any longer. So that's going forward. So any medical bill that you obtain from now until if this law ever gets changed, it can't touch your credit report. Yes, it can be sent to collections, but they can only try to collect from you and not report it to the credit bureaus. It has to be at least $501, right? So any medical collections that you have existing on your credit report that has a balance of under $500 will be removed. It'll automatically be removed. They have until August of 2023 to make that change. In addition to that, any medical collections that you have paid in the past that you may have settled or paid, but it's still on your credit report, that'll also be deleted as well. Because as you know, paying a collection doesn't delete it from your credit report. It'll just show as a $0 balance. It'll show as paid, and it'll still be on your credit report. So anyone that you did pay in the past, it'll be removed, or anyone that you pay going forward will also be removed. Oh shit, I didn't know I was that behind. How can I dispute a collection account that keeps changing the amount, the month, the date of last activity? So it's in multiple ways. If you can prove that they are illegally re-aging that account, you can challenge it based on that, but you have to show proof that it changed. Like you have to have black and white proof that the date was once this and then they changed it. Also, that only happens if they are reporting activity that did not happen. So if they're reporting payments that you made, I'll just say this, a common thing that they'll do is they'll report like $1 payment, or they'll report a $3 payment to the collection, and you'll see the balance decrease by $1, $2, or $3. And you may not pay attention to that. And I know most people won't pay attention to that, right? But what that is actually doing is anytime a payment is made towards a collection, number one, it's validated. So if you pay your collection, you validate that collection. But then number two, that is considered activity. So therefore, that'll reset the date of last activity, which further extends the statute of limitations. So I hope I didn't just confuse you, but yeah. Are you affiliated with? I'm not affiliated with. I don't even know who that person is, but I'm not affiliated with anyone. I'm the sole owner of my company. I don't affiliate with anyone. Do you recommend any instant approval to help towards building credit to qualify for a mortgage? What do you mean instant approval? What's that? What, like, are you talking about like credit cards being instantly approved? I'm not sure what like instant approval is, other than like you applying for a credit card and then like you getting approved instantly. But I don't think that's what you're talking about, because you said to help towards building credit for a home. Give me some clarification on that. Okay, I was just making sure that person is in jail. Oh yeah, I'm most certainly not. I don't know who that is. Can you talk about settling credit card debt? What happens when you settle? If the account is closed and you settle, then it'll just be updated as settled on your credit report. And that's pretty much it. If it's already like gone derogatory. Who we know, Shauna don't play with your child. Exactly. Y'all know I don't play with the law. What credit card is closed? Hold on. The credit card is closed, but they didn't do a 30-day late, just 60, 90, 120, and 120 late. I thought that wasn't reporting correctly. So I want to dispute that. Yeah, I would dispute it. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I like to dispute little small technicalities like that. So yeah, I would dispute that. But before you go in with any factual dispute, you should always go in with just a regular investigation request. Don't ever go in telling them, pointing out what's wrong with the account off bat, because you do know that even if something is reporting wrong on your credit report, they do have a chance. You have to give them a chance to fix it. So you never want to go in saying this is wrong on that account, this is wrong on this account, because all they're going to do is correct it, and then that's it. Like, you can't be mad at that, because they do have that right. So you always want to go in with an investigation request, ask for a full investigation, because if you point out one specific thing that's wrong, instead of having to give you a full investigation, they only have to investigate what you are like referring to. So if you're saying, hey, you didn't report a 30-day late payment, they only gonna focus on that as opposed to the entire account. So just ask for an investigation request, which is if you have the DIY kit. So that's just round one. Round one letter, and obviously like after that round is complete, you will follow up with round two. Investigation request. Investigation request. Yeah, I like to use the 6 step for charge-offs. Like if you have a charge-off, or honestly repossessions, or like you know what that has been good for recently. A lot of people has been telling me, the word is escaping me. Timeshares. The vacation, I was thinking vacation homes, but timeshares. The 6 step is really good with timeshares. The collection balance goes up and down. So that would be something that I would absolutely be challenging, but I would, like I said, first start with an investigation request. When doing a settlement, get a promise for a pay to delete before making any payment. Yeah. Anytime you're doing a settlement, a pay to delete, anytime you're talking with the collection agency directly, get everything in writing. Like, I would never talk to a collection agency over the phone. I would never try to like settle over the phone, because I just have heard too many horror stories of them saying one thing on the phone, then you get off the phone, next thing you know, they saying another thing to the credit bureau. So I personally just like to have everything in black and white. If you do talk to them over the phone, request that they email you either a transcript of the call or email you something proving what they said or what you guys agreed to. I would say it's a discrepancy, JB, only because if it was reporting a charged off account cannot ever be okay. It can never go back to a positive status after an account is charged off. Is dead. Like, literally, even if the company decides to give you another chance, they will have to open an entire new account, but the existing account is done. They cannot reopen a charged off account legally. So if it's reporting CO, and then it just shows okay, and then CO, that is considered a factual error, because that's impossible. A charged off account can never be made back to a positive or open status. What are my favorite cards? The Amex Gold, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, in the Citi Custom Cash is pretty much what I've been using the most. And I use my Apple Card as well. What's the easiest retail card to get with a 525 score? I'm gonna advise you to just skip the retail. Don't get no, you don't need no retail card. What you need to do is get a secure credit card so that you're able to build your credit and establish credit so that you can eventually get like a mid-tier card. I would get like a Capital One Platinum, or Capital One Platinum is probably gonna be your best option with the 525. If you have like collections though, you may have to go subprime. Do you have collections? But you can skip the retail card. Those are cards that you're gonna hate in a minute anyway. Well, yeah, if it's your longest standing account and you get it deleted, you know, your credit age has to go with it, unfortunately. But credit age, here's the thing. Because a lot of people, like, if you are repairing your credit, right? So let me tell you what's going to happen just so everyone understands, because people always freak out when this happens. When you are challenging collections, charge-offs, or any other account on your credit report, understand that if you get those accounts deleted, the age and the payments that's associated with that account will also be deleted from your credit profile. So your score will likely drop in the beginning while you are repairing your credit. Don't freak out. Don't think that you did nothing wrong. Don't think that your credit profile was better with the derogatory accounts on your credit report. No such thing. You still want to get those accounts deleted, because every account on your credit report has credit age, but credit age does not succeed a derogatory account. So like credit age on bad accounts is still bad. It's just bad credit age. You know what I mean? So yes, it's credit age, but it's bad. You still want as much positive credit as you can on your credit profile. So do not hesitate in getting collections deleted, charge-offs deleted, or any other like derogatory account deleted off your credit report for the sake of credit age. Because it's like tainted credit age. You know what I mean? It's there, but it's tainted. So you don't want that. And also, even if your score does drop, or when your score drops, because it will, understand that it's super easy to build credit if you don't have any derogatory accounts, or the less derogatory accounts that you have, the easier it will be to build credit and advance and increase your credit score after that's removed. Like it's all of your current accounts, your credit cards and stuff like that, you're going to be getting more points for those. Your loans and stuff like that, it'll be much easier for you to like gain points with the absence of like derogatory accounts. So just because someone said, why did their score go down from that? That's expected. It's kind of just like it is what it is. Keep going, you'll gain those points back. It's typically like a temporary drop, and you just keep it trucking, keep it moving. I have a loan that I completed. It has 3 late payments. Should I try to get the entire account deleted? What type of loan was it? Because 3 late payments, I don't know if it's worth the entire account, especially like if it was a long-term installment, like a car loan or any installment that was over 36 months. I would say 3 payments is not worth getting all of the rest of the history on the account removed. So I wouldn't remove it for 3 payments. I have a 768 credit score. AU on my mom's credit card, still can't get approved for even an Amex. What am I doing wrong? If that's the only credit card you have, if like you're just on your mom's credit card and you don't have any primary trade lines, that's why you're not getting approved. Because like I was saying, I don't know if you were in here, but I was saying like when you add yourself to someone else's credit card, companies consider that a fluff score. So your score can be perfect. You can have an 800 credit score, but if it's only on the basis of someone else's credit history, they don't credit you for that. You don't get to get all of the benefits of what they would consider a true 750 or a true credit score. So I would say, if, like I said, that's your only credit card, maybe you should try with a starter card or a mid-tier card and then work your way up to the card that you want to get. Where exactly can I go to get a full step-by-step to delete? My website is roadto750.net, ROADTO750.net, and you can get the DIY kit on there, or it's in my bio. Would it help your child who's 18 plus credit more if they're added as a joint account holder and not an AU? You can add them as an AU. I want to be very clear on what I'm saying. You can add them as an AU, but make sure that after you add them as an AU, they apply for their own credit card. Because your card can only do but so much for them. So you can add them, but then make sure that they get their own credit card. How do I write to the credit bureaus? Oh, you send a letter in the mail. You what are you saying, like the addresses and stuff? What do you mean? You mail them a letter to their dispute department. Do you need the addresses? I have a collection that's 10 plus years old. How do I remove it? It didn't get removed from my credit report. 10 plus years old? You could just call. I would just call the credit. Now, you sure it's 10 plus years old? If it's 10 plus year old, I would literally just be calling today. Hey, this account is time barred. So can you please remove it? If it's 10 plus years old, they should have no issue with removing that account. Do you highly recommend a loan when pursuing a mortgage? No, I highly recommend not to open any accounts within 6 months of getting a mortgage. If you want your mortgage score to be maximized and you want to get the best rate on a mortgage, I would absolutely not. You need to stop applying for stuff within 6 months of a home loan for the best results. Did you crimp your hair? No, I just braided it. This was like 4 braids last night. Mousse, braids, bonnet, and that's it. Do you highly recommend? Any advice on removing buy here, pay here repo? Repo was for insurance and non-payment. I have a full video on YouTube. My YouTube page is Shonda Martin, where I explain step-by-step process on how to get a repo deleted. And it'll probably really benefit you, especially if it's a buy here, pay here. What do you think your kid's first credit card would be? So I always say, obviously, it's probably going to be new credit cards by the time, because my oldest is only 10. So he got 8 years. It'll probably be way more options. But if I were going off based on today's market, I would get my son either the Chase Slate or the if he's in school, I'll get him the City I want to say student freedom or City student card, which one it is. But that's only if he's in school. If he's not in school and he want to go another route, he'll just get the Chase Slate, because he don't have to go to school at all. What is SageStream address? LexisNexis. LexisNexis now owns SageStream. So just Google LexisNexis dispute address, and that's where you would dispute that. My favorite mid-tier cards, I have a list. Oh, let me share it. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I gotta move real quick so I can look at my screen. And this child, look, it's sloppy because that was just for my notes. But my favorite mid-tier cards are the Citi Custom Cash, the Citi Double Cash, the Amex Gold, Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Freedom Flex, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Apple Card, Navy Federal Cash Rewards Card. So those are like my favorite. And then my favorite top tier cards are Amex Platinum, Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Citi Premier. Where's the other ones? And here go my favorite beginner cards, which is the Discover It Student, the Capital One Platinum, the Pedal 2 Visa, the Citi Secured MasterCard, the Capital One. I'll just show y'all, child. I hate when I'm reading the list. Like, look, just screenshot. What would you consider a good credit score to aim for before refinancing a vehicle? To be honest, it really don't take that much to refinance a vehicle. If you got at least 600, I would be trying to refinance with either Navy Federal or Capital One Auto Refinance, and those are like my favorite two. I will get a quote from both. Let me show them this, child. Y'all know I can't do 2 things at once. 1 second. What you mean advice on bankruptcy? Like what about bankruptcy? Once the CO has been deleted, can they still collect on the debt? Depending on what state you're in. Depending on what state. Yeah. They can't report it to the credit bureaus though. Depends on what their statute of limitations is. I got declined in a refinance. Why? I don't know. What's on your credit profile? I'm not sure. I can't tell without knowing what's going on. Can we see? Oh shit! I didn't tell you. I didn't show y'all. Okay, I gotta unplug y'all. All right, yeah, y'all can see. Oh, I gotta scoot back though. Does collections affect getting mid-tier cards? Recent collections does. Like if you have a collection within the last 18 months, then I would not recommend you apply for a mid-tier card. Or if you have a charge off within the last 24 months, I wouldn't recommend that you apply. That's beginner. These are my favorite mid-tier. Do you recommend any instant approval cards? I guess I'm confused by the question because all credit cards nowadays are either instant approval or they have to wait. Like, what do you mean instant approval? Are you saying like subprime cards where they approve everyone? Or I guess I'm just getting confused by the instant approval because every credit card is instant approval for someone if you qualify. You know what I mean? What to do when a creditor won't delete an actual inaccurate payment? Or is the account open? Is the account still open or is closed? Is a Delta credit union card good? Delta credit union? Are you talking about Delta like the airline, or is it a credit union actually called Delta? If it's a credit union called Delta, I'm just not familiar with. Maybe just like a local thing. Is Westlake Financial easy to remove? No company is necessarily easy to remove. It just depends on if the information that they're reporting is accurate and consistent. No company is off limits for dispute, if that's what you're asking. Well, only two companies that I kind of like is probably not worth your time, which is Portfolio Recovery Associates or LVNV. I don't really like disputing with them because they're going to take it to court anyway. So you may as well probably settle with them. But any other company, no other company is exempt from getting disputed because like every company needs to validate the account and you should make sure that they validate the account. These are my favorite mid-tier everyday cards that are on the screen right now. How about the Delta Platinum Amex? Do you like them? Oh, okay, that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, I do. I have one Delta SkyMiles card. It's not my favorite travel card, but I think it's because I lately have been flying American too much, which I don't even like American, but based on my airport that I'm at, most direct flights are with American. So it could be a personal bias. If you don't only fly Delta, then try to get like the Amex Gold or the Platinum. Can I use your round 2 and round 3 letter in your DIY kit to dispute LexisNexis? Yes. Any letter that says it goes to the credit bureaus can also be doubled as disputes for any of the third-party entities like LexisNexis. Can I see the beginner list again? Yeah, this ain't even a complete list, and I keep saying that I'm gonna update it, but I just have not gotten to it, but I need to. But this is not a complete list. I would say probably like the beginner cards is that's my favorite, and that's just it. But I can definitely think of a few more mid-tier and definitely a few more top-tier. Midland as well. Midland, LVNV, and PRA. Yep, those are the big three when it comes to court. And also, y'all got to understand that most of their debt, like 90% of the accounts that they have are charged off accounts. 90% of them. So they typically own those accounts. Those are debt buyers as opposed to collection agencies. How many? Is Capital One Venture a mid-tier, the one with no annual fee? Yeah, all the venture cards, I know they have like 3 of them, but all of them would be considered mid-tier. Do unpaid tickets go on your credit, like traffic tickets? No. Nope. What time is it? LV definitely took me to court. Yeah, girl, they're going to take everybody to court. One thing about LVNV, they're going to take everybody to court. You can bet on it. Instant approval apps websites to build credit with no credit, like Ava Credit. Oh, okay. Okay, so we refer to them. we refer to them as subprime lenders. Sorry, so that's where we were getting confused. So, what the hell was your original question? Now that I know what you're talking about, I think you said to get a mortgage. Is that what you said? Was that you? Now that we're on the same page, can you repeat the question? I'm gonna be looking for your name. I promise. I'm not trying to like take you through this. This whole thing, but now I got you. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, just settle with them. Third my reports don't match. Is this grounds for dispute? Yes, it is. Everything, any negative account on your credit report is grounds for dispute because you need to request validation for all of it. Just because it's yours, just because you know it's yours, just because the balance is correct, it doesn't mean that it can be validated. So you should always request validation or verification from the credit bureaus. I'm waiting for your question. Hold on. So I have a 5-year Coast card that's a charge off with hella discrepancies and I want to get rid of it. What should I do? I have the DIY kit. So start with round 1. Follow the process because I think rounds 3 will start to get into the factual dispute and in the discrepancies, but rounds 1 and 2 is still the same. So you still would just start with round 1, wait till that investigation is complete, and then move on to round 2. I'm trying to wait for the one who was talking about the portfolio took me to court, paying $90 a month on $7,000. Is it too late to try and settle? Yeah, if a judge has whatever you guys have agreed to in court, that's the final say. So yeah, you're gonna have to stick to it if a judge signed off on it. Or they'll have the legal right to like garnish your wages or like place a lien on your bank account or something like that if you stop paying. Should I always send certified? It gets costly. I literally never send certified. Literally the only time I waste money and send certified is if I'm sending a debt validation letter to the collection agency directly. But when it comes to the credit bureaus, the certified letters, it makes no difference. It does not make a difference in your dispute process. It doesn't cause them to be processed faster simply because they are not regulating the time anymore. So you can send a letter and the investigation process can be over 30 days now because legally, after COVID, they were able to extend any investigation time. So don't waste your money. Literally don't waste your money. Do you think the student loan forgiveness will boost our credit? Unfortunately for most people, it'll lower their credit temporarily because they're going to lose credit age. If you are a college student and need flight benefits, what's the best credit card? College student? Do you casually fly or like fly a lot? I'm assuming casually in college. So I don't know if I would recommend a travel card. I would recommend just a regular mid-tier card so you're able to be benefited for booking flights and gain points at a high limit or rate. So I would get like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or I want to say Amex Gold, but I don't know if I would recommend a charge card for a college student because it's a lot. You're not really supposed to carry a balance on that card. So it can be a lot for someone if you don't have any experience with that. So I would maybe say like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Let's talk derogatory. What we talking about? Collections, charge-offs, what type of derogatory? My student loans say closed on my credit report. Is this negatively affecting my score? So it'll only be negatively affecting you if it says closed, but it still has a remaining balance. And that's for any account. If an account is closed and it doesn't have a remaining balance, then that's not negatively affecting you. Like that's just your credit history. You should want to keep that. Don't dispute that. Let it remain on your credit report. But if it is closed with a balance, then that is negatively impacting you. Because that just means that you didn't complete the agreed upon payments. How do you dispute accounts within bankruptcy? I like to get the bankruptcy deleted first, and then I like to dispute the accounts. You pretty much will dispute them exactly like charged off accounts because that's essentially what they are at that point. And then I would dispute those, but I would dispute the bankruptcy first. How can I get late payments removed? If it's on an open account, you would ask for a goodwill adjustment from the company directly. But if it's on a closed account, you can dispute the account with the credit bureau. Sorry. Yeah, the DIYK has a late payment letter. I'll be getting mixed up. I'm messaging you from Facebook comments. Not sure if it's going through. Yeah, I see your comments, Sam. It's just that I'm on 3 different lives, so I may miss him if you are leaving them. I'm on 3 different lives. Yeah. Are you still doing your home buyers masterclass? Yes. So the home buyers masterclass is on November 7th. It's in 5 days. It's only in 5 days. So if you are trying to prepare your credit to purchase a home, you should definitely come to my home buyers masterclass because we will talk about in detail everything you need to do to get prepared to purchase a home. If you are dealing with credit challenges, what you need to do about those, collections, charge-offs. If you feel like basically this is where it's at. If you feel like based on your current credit that you don't see yourself being qualified for a home, or if you have collections, charge-offs, late payments, whatever the case may be, and you just like don't think that purchasing a home is going to be possible for you in the near future, you should come because what we're doing is I'm focusing only on mortgage scores, how to improve them, things that you need to do, actionable steps like do this. When you leave there, you're going to have a full list of you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this before you apply for your pre-approval. And then after your pre-approval, this is the things that you can expect. And then when you're at the closing table, obviously after you close, it's your home. So I'm going to take you through the full process. So if you are trying to purchase a home, definitely get your ticket to my home buyers masterclass. The tickets are only $24.99. You get access to the replay for life. So if you're not trying to purchase a home within the next 6 months and you may need to visit the replay in the future, it's yours to keep for life. You'll also get a copy of my presentation slides just for your record to, notate on or whatever. You get all that with the class, and it's only for $24.99. It's on November 7th. So again, if you cannot make it live, it's between 6 and 9 p.m. So if you can't make it live, you can still lock in a price and you'll get the replay. After the class goes live, like with all of my webinars, the price does go up. So if you do want to secure it now, because the replay, if you do not purchase your ticket prior to it going live, is going to be $49.99. So just letting y'all know, it's literally half off always until the webinar comes, and then after that, the replay is always going to be double. So just if y'all want to come, y'all don't gotta come. If y'all want to come, definitely go secure your ticket. Roadto750.net, and yeah, it's on November 7th. But yeah, thanks for your help, by the way. Oh, thank you. You're Lord, thank you. Yeah, roadto750.net. So let me get this off the screen. I forgot this was on the screen. Let me put up the right here. What's the best thing to do with medical bills on your credit? HIPAA letter, the HIPAA letters. Okay, look, I'm gonna get off here. So real quick, what letters do y'all want me to show y'all real quick? So I think I should show y'all the HIPAA letters because I've been getting a lot of questions about medical bills today. And then I think I should show y'all for collections, like just the regular, just collection letters. What y'all think? Oh, whatever I just did. How do you change that back? No, how you do that? How do you undo whatever you just did in Word? Is it Control Z? Yeah. Okay. No, it did. How do you literally undo whatever? Like I just deleted something, but I need it back. So how do I undo that? Like it just happened. I haven't even did anything else. Ain't it like a shortcut or something? Wait, let me undo. Okay, I got it. Oh, it is Control Z. Okay, cool. Control Y. Yeah, I'm from St. Louis. Okay, so here go the HIPAA letters. Let me search them actually. Where's my search bar? Hold on. I'm trying to Control F it, but it ain't coming up. Okay, here we go. All right, so here it is for medical collections, and this is only for medical collections. Please, please, please don't send this letter for any other collection because it's not going to make sense to the credit bureau nor the collection agency. So the HIPAA letters, the HIPAA system, rather, it's 2 letters, right? Just hit undo. Yeah, I got it. So it's 2 letters. Part 1 goes to the credit bureaus, and this is only for medical collection. Part 1 goes to the credit bureaus, and then part 2 goes to the collection agency. I'm gonna show TikTok first because it's the hardest one. Oh, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen on YouTube. Give me 1 second. This is part 1. What y'all eating for dinner today? I don't know what to cook. It's looking like a spaghetti day, and my kid's gonna be mad, but I don't feel like cooking. Okay, so this is part 1, right? So this is for medical collection. Can y'all see that? Why my camera looks so dirty? Hold on. Shit. Freak. Okay, here we go. Can y'all see the whole screen? Y'all eating sushi? That's a snack. Shrimp and cheesy potatoes. Ooh, I never made that. Smothered chicken with rice, cabbage, and ooh, that sounds good. We had baked chicken yesterday. Yep, it's $24.99 for the home buyers masterclass. All right, so this is part 1, right? And then you would also send part 2, but you would send part 2 on the same day, but you would send it to the collection agency. As a reminder, part 1 goes to the credit bureaus. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all in just a second. Tacos. Ooh, that sounds good. All right. All right, so let me get iJizzle. All these cords be getting tangled up and stuff. All right, so this is part 2. Let me go back to part 1. This is part 1. What monitor is that? It's a Samsung monitor from Amazon. You can use any monitor. It's just my main computer is an iMac. This is just a monitor for a second screen. Broccoli casserole, period. Okay. Can you buy a home if you owe the IRS but making payments? If you're making payments, most without knowing what's going on, I'm gonna say as long as you're making payments, yeah. But I don't know what agreement you have with the IRS. Normally, the lenders that I work with, they just require that you're on an active payment plan. Oh, let me scroll down a little bit. So this is part 1, and this is only for medical collections. And then you send this to the credit bureaus. Mind you, you got to send a copy of your ID. Yeah, this is in my DIY kit. You have to send a copy of your ID to the credit bureaus, but not the collection agency. And then this is part 2. You send them on the same day. I'm 29. My birthday is November 16th in 2 weeks. Okay, y'all got it? What I'm doing for my birthday? You know what's crazy? I don't know. Not really nothing, because I'm gonna be busy working. So I may celebrate after. And my daughter's birthday is the day before mine. So she pretty much took over my birthday. So I'm doing something for her. But no, we just chilling this year. My birthday, November 16th. Are dental collections considered medical? Yeah. So ambulance bills are considered medical. It should be titled medical on your credit report. So if you download your real credit report, if you go to annualcreditreport.com, it's free. Download all 3 of your credit reports. It should say medical under like type, account type or something. It should say medical. It definitely should say medical. Your birthday, November 16th. Also, yes. Period. Team Scorpio. The best. November is the best month. We all know it. We all know it. Oh, the other letter. What other letter did I say I was going to show y'all? I forgot already. How can I settle for a lower amount for collections? Send a settlement letter. Here, I'll just show you the settlement letter only because it's like right near here. This is a settlement letter. And you don't have to send this exact one, but this is, I guess, this can be as an example of a settlement letter. And the settlement letter goes to the collection agency directly. I just showed you the medical ones. The HIPAA letters were for medical. Yeah, the HIPAA letter. Oh, child, I don't want to show you outside my house. Hold on. Hold up. Yeah, that one was for medical. I'm not sure who that person is. I have a medical bill in collections that I have no knowledge of, but they will not remove it. So what do you mean? Like, so it's not yours? Is it not in your name? I will send the HIPAA letters unless you know for a, like, without a doubt, a fact it's not yours, then I would file an identity theft report. But that's only if you know without a shadow of a doubt it's not yours. You can always get more information. Like when you send the HIPAA letter, they should be sending you all the information on the account, the original creditor, the day that you supposedly or allegedly went to the hospital or medical facility, all of that. Like they definitely should be able to fine tune when it happened, who it was from, all that. Yeah, oh dang, you November 16th as well. See what I mean? It's the best day in the world. But for any medical collection, send the HIPAA letters. Has anyone in here used the HIPAA letters before? Normally we have a few people who've already done it. It doesn't matter the amount. So regardless of how much it is, unless it's under $500, but if it's over $500, I would always send the HIPAA letters. It doesn't matter how high. Most medical bills are either, it's kind of weird because you will either have a lot of low balanced medical bills, or you'll see like crazy ones like 60,000, 70,000, 30,000. It's like insane. Yeah, even if you've challenged your medical collections in the past, if you haven't challenged them based on HIPAA, I would recommend that you send them. Oh shit, I didn't show y'all the settlement letter. My bad. How do you do this? You just type it. Oh. Send the settlement letter to who? To whoever has the account, collection agency or the original creditor. Most likely it's going to be a collection agency. Do I have a repo letter? I have a repo letter, but it's not like, I would recommend that you go and watch the full repo video, because it's not like, this is not all you're going to need, but I can show you the repo letter. It's just, you're going to need more than this letter if you want to, oh, I forgot y'all was looking at that. Hold on. I can show you the repo letter, but it's not complete. So I would definitely recommend you go watch the video, because there are a lot of steps that you need to take prior to the repo. Here we go. Go watch the video though, because this may not be all that you need. How do I always do that? You got to have your VIN number as well. Care credit is tricky. And the reason why I say it's tricky is because sometimes I see it just reporting as a regular installment. And then sometimes I see it reporting as medical. So if it's reporting as medical, then yeah. You just got to make sure it's reporting as medical. Makeup tutorial, girl, I always be forgetting. I keep saying I'm going to do it. It's so simple though. I don't do nothing special. I do so simple. You could be like, girl, I use like 4 products, but I'll do it because I know a lot of people do like minimal makeup. Like, I don't like a lot of makeup on my face. It's like a little bit, but I'll do one, girl. What about if you get a collection letter in the last 30 days? How do you respond to it? Validation, debt validation. Let me show you that before I get off. Because everybody, even if you don't have collections, everybody screenshot this next letter, because what happens is anytime you get a collection notice in the mail, it's not the right letter. Yeah, I know I can't do 2 things at once. Let me get the letter put up and then we'll talk. Okay. So everyone needs to screenshot this, because everyone needs to always have access to a properly written debt validation letter. And the reason is because when you get a collection notice in the mail, the mail that you be ignoring, the letters that you don't open, all of those, make sure number 1, you open all of your mail. But number 2, when you get a collection notice, you need to respond within 30 days, because you only have 30 days to respond after a company sends you a collection notice, to request that account is fully validated. If you request that the account is fully validated within 30 days, then the company has to cease collections, meaning they cannot continue to collect on the debt until they properly validate the account. They can't send it to the credit bureaus until they properly validate the account. So if you don't respond with a debt validation letter, then all they're going to do is, after 30 days, because they only have to give you 30 days, after that 30 days, all they're going to do is send it to the collection agency. Send it to the credit bureaus. So now you have a new collection on your credit report. Now you got to try to fight back and forth with the credit bureaus. 40% of collections will not make it past the dunning period, which is what that 30 days before a collection reaches your report is called. 40% of collections won't make it past the dunning period if you reply with a debt validation letter. Some companies are going to be able to validate it. It's just kind of like, it is what it is. It's the luck of the draw. But I guess I can't say most because it's 40, but a lot of companies will not be able to properly validate an account. Even if it's yours, even if it belongs to you, none of that matters. Always send a debt validation letter. So here's a debt validation letter. And just keep this in your records. Like, even if, like I say, you don't have a collection right now, keep this just handy so that you know, as soon as you get a collection notice, send it to the collection agency. If there is one letter that you need to waste $3 and send certified, is this one. Because again, collection agencies, they're shady. So a lot of times they'll say, we never received a validation request. And then now you can, show them, no, you're lying. You did receive it. You did receive it. I know y'all can't see it. Give me 1 second. I'm holding it up for them real quick. Yeah, y'all can see it on YouTube. This is for any collection notice that you receive. It doesn't matter. Can I turn off the comments? Yeah, I think y'all got to swipe right to turn off the comments. I don't know how to do that. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, now do it. You got like 10 seconds. Yeah, this is the debt validation letter. This goes to the collection agency. If it's already on your credit report, then this letter is not the letter that you send. This is for if it has not reached your credit report yet and you just got the letter in the mail, or you're getting calls from a collection agency, or you're starting to they can contact you on social media now as well. So if you get messages on social media, or if you get emails or something like that, this is what you immediately respond to the company. All right, let me show y'all. I keep doing that. Okay. Let me see. Oh, y'all can see? Shit. Like the screen. Tap the screen when y'all got it. I have a credit union loan charge-off that's reporting CO every month with a balance, and a collection service reporting the same thing with a balance. They said it isn't so. They are just collecting. Yeah, that could be true. They could just be collecting on behalf of the company. They don't matter though. They still can get the smoke in terms of a challenge. Like, don't let them. First of all, stop talking to them over the phone. Don't be talking to collection agencies over the phone. It doesn't benefit you at all. FDCPA only protects written communication. So he say, she say, unfortunately, you are not protected over the phone with a collection agency. Always get everything in black and white. If they call you, I'm requesting that you do not call me anymore, and I only want to communicate with you via written communication. I say that every time. They cannot deny it. They cannot say no. They can't do that. It's illegal. It's against the FDCPA. So make sure you are not like talking to them. Yes, and let me show y'all. Yeah, someone said the address. Let me show you the addresses real quick, and then I guess to go. So, what am I looking for? Addresses right here. Obviously, if it's a collection agency, the address is going to be whoever your collector is. But this is the bureaus. Y'all got it? I know, child. I'll be trying to manage all these dang on lives. The thing is, I need another phone. I'm so sick of this iPad. I'm gonna go ahead and get another phone. I hate carrying two phones, so I don't like it at all. Yeah, you can Google the dispute addresses for any of them. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm from the Lou, born and raised. All right, y'all good? Everybody good? We good? All right. So I'm finna get off here. Let me answer a few more questions. Do I have the fax numbers? Nope, because they have all pretty much discontinued them except one, and they don't respond. So just mail it. Just mail it. Just mail it. Collection letter. Which one? Yeah, everything I was showing y'all was from my DIY kit. Okay, so yeah, make sure, like I said, if you're trying to buy a home, you know anyone trying to buy a home within the next, I would say like 3 years, make sure you come to my home buyers masterclass. It's $24.99. You'll get lifetime access to the replay and a copy of my slides. But more importantly than all of that, you will get actionable steps on how to properly improve your mortgage score, specifically to get approved for a home loan. I have assisted in over 1,500 real estate transactions where I'm helping people close on their homes. I used to specialize in only preparing people for home ownership. I used to work with I used to exclusively work with lenders, underwriters, and real estate agents to prepare their clients' mortgage scores to be able to be approved for a loan. So it's my specialty. And again, I'll be teaching all of that in the Home Buyers Masterclasses on November 7th. So if you want your tickets, you can go to the link in bio, or you can just go to roadto750.net and secure your ticket. It is in 5 days on November 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it live, you'll still get access to the replay. Again, $24.99. Come learn. Let's vibe, enjoy. I'll have my glass of wine, but we'll definitely be teaching, but we'll be vibing for sure. It's always a vibe. And yeah, we're going to be learning. So pull up if you want, get your tickets today. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow for Coffee and Credit. Thank you guys for joining. Bye-bye. I'm going to save this on Instagram.